Like you need to stand up.
That's it. This is all I got.
No, you're like this. So you're
I'm
not
just
far.
putting
You have
this.
to put your chest
I was
far.
putting the.
There you go. That's what I said. That's you're gonna be like that. You have to be like that leaning to you. Do a serious face and then make sure you understand the beginning. You know?
I got it.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And the one.
Make sure you talk loud.
I'm talking loud.
Or firm, nah?
I got it. Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching ahead. Yes, we have a little bit of news that we would like to tell everybody.
Yep.
How can I say? Oh my gosh.
Como se dice?
Como se dice? Well, thank you everybody for all the birthday wishes, because we got like tons of birthday wishes and it was great and it was awesome. It has been very challenging to celebrate and to enjoy all those festivities that you guys have seen online, because and the moment that we're shooting this probably already happened. Maybe it was last week, maybe it was yesterday, maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow. We're gonna try to keep that little part private. You know, we've been very lucky in being together, 19 years together and so on. Don't make me cry. And I'm okay. I'm not supposed to be drinking anymore. And everything that all of our journey has been filled with a lot of great memories and a lot of great things. But we've also suffered a lot. You know, we had a lot of things that have happened that have been very painful, you know? And, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I think that we're very, very strong people. But nonetheless, it has been very challenging. Dario and I have been blessed to have 3 amazing kids. Man, I didn't want to do this, like, all teary and shit. But each one of our babies was born from a C-section. So we're trying to shoot this video more of awareness, you know, maybe our story can help someone else that's watching. Overall, you know, you're doctors and you trust your gut, you know, and make sure that you get yourself checked regularly. But with each one of our babies, every one of those pregnancies were very, very challenging, and every single one of them ended up with a C-section. We did try to labor every single baby because we knew that of the risk of a C-section. And what a lot of people don't know is, or the misconception is that when you give birth is that day. You know, the pregnancy, the day that you labor, the day that you welcome your baby to the world, and you think that the risk is over and done with that, you know? But it's not just what happens when you go through labor and when you go through the birthing process. You know, you could have complications from bringing babies to the world in the long term. So what we were always told by every single doctor is that with each one of the C-sections, things were going to get more complicated and more complicated. And that's exactly what has kind of happened. Don't you cry. You could only have one person crying at a time. So what I'm going to need well, first of all, I wanted to say that, you know, you have to pay attention to the signs, you know. It's been almost, what do you say, like about a year or so? Yeah. Like about a year or so that I've been like in horrible pain, excessively bleeding, feeling lethargic, what else? Weak. What else would you say?
Just energy.
Energy, like a really lack of energy. And we thought that it was because we were not in shape. You know, we had the baby, COVID hit, and then we were in quarantine, so we thought, oh, it's COVID weight, you know. And Dario and I kind of decided to, let's work out. Let's try to get back to it. Let's dance as much as we can, blah, 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 blah. And we tried to do that. You know, we're, I think since Aiden, right? Like about 15 years ago, we did make the commitment to have healthy eating habits. So we knew it wasn't diet, you know. because we eat very, very excessively healthy, you know. But when we would work out, I wasn't able to finish the workout or even get it started, you know, like after like the 5 minutes in, I was lightheaded. I couldn't breathe most of the time, and all that stuff. So I will have to often sit down. So in taking all of that into consideration, I'm gonna give credit to Dario because he's like, you know what, it's time. You need to go to the doctor. You need to go get yourself checked and all that stuff. So I made my appointment, you know, to go in and get checked. And we went. This has been something that we've been dealing with in the short term. I mean, I've been in this agony for almost a year now, but in tackling and taking care of it, right? Maybe since April. I would say even a month before that, because, you know, you have to make appointments and then it takes 2-3 weeks to get the damn appointment and all that stuff. We did a whole battery of tests, a whole bunch of stuff. And it turned out that I was anemic. And the doctor probably calculated that I'd been anemic all this time. So maybe roughly a good, if not the full year, then at least 9 months. So I want you to think about doing everything that I do and being anemic for that prolonged amount of time, right? It's not easy to do everything that we do, even just with being a teacher, like getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting the kids to school, picking them up, doing homework and doing all that stuff. And then adding to that the kind of lifestyle that we do with all the dancing and the traveling and the congresses and all that stuff. I've been suffering for a very long time, you know? So it turned out that it was that. And the number one cause of the anemia is the heavy bleeding, you know? The anemia is not going to resolve itself until I take care of that, because one is caused by the other. So what is causing the bleeding? The thing that the doctor is saying is that it's, I have to look it up, what it's called. I could barely pronounce it. What is it? Oh, adenomyosis. Adenomyosis. So if you know about the female things, most of the time with women is fibroids and cysts. Like those are the things that you hear in common language with females, and endometriosis and all that stuff. So even I knew that every single doctor had told us that every single C-section was going to complicate things, but this diagnosis was not necessarily in our radar at all, you know. But it's getting so severe that the only recommendation that the doctor has is for me to have a hysterectomy, and that's the plan. Yeah. We're doing a total hysterectomy. You know, there's different kinds. So if you've had one or you know someone that has one, you probably know all the different types. What I'm having is a total hysterectomy. They're leaving the ovaries, you know, for hormone production and all that stuff. The risk for me, because of, you know, healthy eating and the active lifestyle, which is great and amazing, that's always good news. According to the doctor, yes, there is risk. Normally when you have a hysterectomy, he said like what, 2 to 3% risk factor?
Very minimal.
Very minimal?
On a normal circumstance, it's without having so many C-sections, is probably less than 1%. And just because you increase the number of C-sections, then it might increase like a percent.
Yes. So with each one of the C-sections, it actually increases the risk. And I had 3. So on a normal circumstance, it's around 2 to 3. For me, is around 5 to 10%, which is what they're saying. He's very confident in what he's doing. He's very thorough, very gentle, very caring. What else?
I mean, the number one question is that you know that you're not going to have any more babies. So, I mean, right. obviously we're at the stage that we already knew. We
were done with that. That part was great. Yeah, that was one of his fears. Like, do you still want to have babies or anything like that? We were done 4 years ago. That part is gone. Am I afraid, or how can I say it? Does it hurt to lose the uterus? No. with a lot of people. I mean, that's my situation. With someone else, it might be different. It's part of like your female anatomy. For some people, female body parts define them. Like, you're not a woman if you don't have breasts. My breasts do not define me. My hair doesn't define me. My uterus doesn't define me as a woman. So losing it, that's not the part that is like nerve-wracking, you know? The part that is nerve-wracking for me is the pain, you know, because every single one of them were horrific. They were very, very painful, you know? And just knowing that I have to go through the same pain again, that's the part that is like breaking me down, you know? But everything else is like fine. I'm fine. The family's great. Everybody's taken care of. The kids are taken care of. Dario is amazing. We are all ready for it. So now it's just, you know, going through the process and healing as fast as we can so that we can get back to what we need to do. Right? Do I have boogers? You know? So I know that you guys are probably going to flood every single medium that we have and, you know, feel better. We wish you a happy recovery and all of that. So way in advance, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If you feel like you want to share something like that, because we have other projects and other things that are happening at the same time, and now this is kind of like a setback to that. What I do ask personally as a huge favor to me is that for every get well soon that you want to post or send, share the event. Share the Sarasota Salsa and Bachata Festival for me, please. You know, I'm not going to be able to do that for a little bit, so that is much appreciated. For every DM that you want to send to me, hey, how you feeling today? I hope you're doing better. I want you to invite 3 or 4 friends to come to the event. That's how you can best help us at this moment, you know? For every call that you want to make, because we're probably not going to be able to make a call, what I hope is that you buy your pass right now, so that we have one less thing to worry about when this is all over. Recovery for me, the doctor says that it'll be just like basically giving birth, like having a C-section all over again. So it could be anything from 6 to 8 weeks. Given my past history with each C-section, it might take me longer. I just know, because with Alan, it was almost like 6 months. Aiden was a little faster because I was fit. I was working out already. So I think his took maybe 3 to 5 months, would you say, that I went back to work right away?
You get a little better there.
Yeah, and with Adriel, the same thing, because I was dancing and I was very active. My weight was even less. So with him, it took about 3 to 6 months too. So 6 months saying that.
It's a little push there.
Yeah.
I mean, she gave birth in May, and she was already dancing at the Orlando Salsa Congress in July.
Yeah, but that was not easy to do. Then I had to take off like 2 or 4 weeks after that. That was not easy. So, you know, healing is very important. So we're going to be very delicate with that so that I can heal to the fullest and not have anything go wrong post-surgery. You know, so number one, we wanted to do this for awareness. We hope that, you know, maybe it can help someone out there. The other good news is that they have already done a biopsy, so everything is benign, but they are going to send
the last checks,
the uterus to pathology to get an overall checkup of everything. But we're going in having peace of mind that it's not cancer or anything like that. You know, it's going to be a very painful process to go through, a very tough couple of weeks. And we just want to thank you in advance for all your well wishes. And remember that the best way to help us is just to help with the Sarasota Salsa and Bachata Festival. That's all. If you have a studio, tell your students to come. If you wanted to buy your pass, buy it today. Invite 3 or 4 friends. Share the event every single day that you don't see me sharing it. Share it for me. Good? Do you want to say something else?
No, thank you for, you know, plugging in and keeping track of everything that we do. And just know that this might delay a couple of things, might kind of like minimize our footprint out there. But you know, you guys are we're just recovering, and hopefully we'll see you, back normal at the Sarasota Salsa Bachata Festival.
Cool. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Good job.